Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Come On, Get Happy Hour. The way we do it right here in the Double Wide, we always bring the party. I don't watch the news. Got my homie, my partner in crime up in Canada, the beautiful, the talented, the brains behind the operation, Miss Judy Sketch Lewison. What's up,
Hey,
Sketch?
hey, how you doing?
What's
What's going
going
on
on?
down there? I like the Gelpin, like the Gelpin cat, giving us a little bit of pimp my ride vibe.
Swag, some swag.
Match the pimped out double wide. I like it.
Yeah, they
How
did
are
the
you doing this week?
Chopping Auto Sports. Yeah, they did the Pimp My Ride. My homies over there, we get them on the show. They've now branched out to West Coast Customs,
Mm-hmm.
same crew. We have them on the show sometime. I'm just
Yeah.
representing until West Coast hooks us up with some WCC, some
Right.
WCC gear.
Paging Chad. Yep. Canadians will accept
Yes,
the West
Chad
Coast
up,
customs. That's all we rep, West Coast.
Pageant Chad up. How you doing up there?
Doing pretty well. The weather's taking a nice turn. It's a little more sunny. It's still a little cold, but there's more sun, so that's good. And just planting, doing the garden stuff. The Japanese blossoms are coming in, so a lot of
Oh yeah,
photography outside.
you have the little bonsai trees. Go ahead and try to catch flies with chopsticks.
A little wax on, wax off in the
Yeah. Hey,
backyard. Just,
by the way, that's a good lead-in for this week's top
yeah,
10.
yes,
I knew
yes.
this was going to be a good one. I knew it was going to be strong. I'm like, I gotta save this one because everybody's got a favorite movie quote. So this week,
Yeah.
as
When
we
you
do each week, we do a top 10 list here on Come On Get Happy Hour. And so what was the last one? Like top 10
it was
comedy movies or
yeah.
something. And people started quoting their favorite comedy movies, and I was like, ding ding,
Hmm.
favorite movie quotes. So you always like daily on the daily. I bet you meet somebody throughout the day, either yourself or someone else will quote a movie. I know I
Yep.
do. And I know that movie you just said, the wax on.
Wax off.
There's a quote from that movie that definitely made the list tonight. I'm gonna pull that up real
Yeah,
quick.
yeah, yeah. It was funny when you told me about this week's topic, and I was like, yeah, there's a few. And then as I started thinking about it, they just kept rushing back, and I'm like, I need to catch up on my viewing, and Netflix needs to step up their content. Where are all these films?
You know what I'm finding is like last week we did the top 10 comedies.
Hmm.
People are quoting like the last 15, 20 years of comedy. You know,
Right? They're not
do
going
it.
like digging in the crates.
They're not going back to some Buster Keaton, Charlie Chaplin, Three
Hmm.
Stooges. Even we did Young Frankenstein. Even a couple of people, Mel Brooks, were like, Mel Brooks. I don't know. Is that was Ben Affleck in that? I don't know.
Right.
Ben Stiller, one of the Bens. I'm like,
Was it?
no, man, come on.
Is there
Which,
a
by
guy
the way, I
named
heard
Steve in
some
it? Yeah. Yeah.
heard
That's
some
the one.
sad news today.
What's
Speaking
up?
of the classics, all the I don't know if you heard up there, but all the ArcLight theaters are closing.
Look, I saw that yesterday evening just before
That
going to
sucks.
bed, and I had a moment of just like real sadness because there's so many memories associated with just ArcLight in general, but the
Mm-hmm.
one on Sunset, when I lived in LA, I loved that because every time there was a big blockbuster superhero type movie,
Mm-hmm.
my friends and I, because people start moving and get into their own lives, we all agreed to show up for the Wednesday night premiere. So people you hadn't seen in months or years would
Yeah.
just show up, and it's tough when you lose landmarks that are a part of people's lives like that, like
Mm-hmm. The
so
Cinerama Dome is also under the umbrella of the ArcLight. So I don't
yeah,
know this,
that's
but
going to
that's going to. And the
yeah.
Cinerama Dome is like the people started putting like structurally how iconic it is. It's made of these blocks, and it was
Oh
the
yeah,
first to have like
that
Cinerama.
honeycomb ceiling, the whole deal.
Yeah, all that deal, and the way the movies were filmed just for that particular type of screen, which was arched at the time. But
Mhm.
they would do a summer series like summer classics, and I saw there's movies I wanted to see. Like I was embarrassed, 20 years ago I hadn't seen like Citizen Kane
Mhm.
and Casablanca. That I wanted to see like a big experience.
Yeah, you have to see it in the
And I was too
film
poor to have a big
large.
screen TV, so I'm like, I'm gonna hold off until I can
Right.
see like a real to do it justice, especially like a Citizen Kane.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
they would do a summer movie classic series. So I saw
Yeah.
Citizen Kane there, Casablanca for the first time, a few others that I saw in the Cinerama Dome on Hollywood Boulevard, which was amazing.
Wow. Yeah. I've seen a few films in there, and for people who aren't from the area, to give them a context of what how advanced this technology is,
Mhm.
imagine how impressed people are with IMAX This was IMAX before IMAX was even an idea or even a possibility. It was an ultimate rule breaker of presenting entertainment, particularly film. You know, this is. I wonder, is there a historical society that could, you know, step in on that particular aspect of the theater? Like it's that important.
Yeah.
To the world
of
architecture and the history of the city.
Just a few minutes because, sorry to jump in, but Facebook Live, I just jumped in live just for a second because we're going to do the top 10 list, and I put that on Facebook. And there's not really a top 10 of movie quotes because everybody's got their own little quirks and personalities.
Just roll with it.
Just roll with it. And there was probably 30 or 40 that just like bam, bam. And speaking of Casablanca, did you know he never really said, "Play it again, Sam"? Play it again.
Yes, I did hear that. I did hear that in like a movie trivia thing years and years and years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Ask Alexa. That's one of the most misquoted, iconic movie quotes. That was never actually a movie quote. Play it again, Sam. We never actually said that.
So but where does that come from?
On another one. And like I said, this is not really a top 10. I just went with like top 10 favorites or the most people that commented. But you also schooled me on something today that I didn't know. Like when you say "bye, Felicia," right. I use that a lot. Bye, Felicia. I forgot where that came from. And tell them where it came from, Sketch.
That is originally said by the one and only Ice Cube in the movie Friday. And Felicia was someone who was quite annoying to people in the neighborhood. And every time she would come around and okay, bye, Felicia. Bye, Felicia. It was a running joke in the film. So, yeah, Ice Cube.
Ice Cube. Bye, Felicia. Someone on Facebook asked me, what am I drinking? Hope it's an IPA. IPA is going to be a little headache. I'll be a little silent situation. No, this is a little moonshine. This is a little shine or something comparable. And as I say weekly sometimes, my favorite mix is whatever's available in the refrigerator.
Somebody approved it.
This week it was like organic passion fruit juice. I don't even know if is there a passion fruit or is that just like a made up?
No, that's a thing. That's a thing.
That's a thing?
Yeah.
What's up, Ray Schultz from Apollo High School? Jeff Collins, what's going on? About to jump on with my homies here in a minute. But there's movies like I can quote everything from like the movie Vacation. Like when the cousins are on the seesaw and the little girl goes, "You French kiss?" And she goes, "Everybody does that." And she goes, "But my dad says I'm the best."
Oh my goodness. I don't know that film, but that is wow.
They didn't even get that joke in Arkansas. They're like, I don't see what's it's even funny there.
Wow. that funny indeed.
But also I thought of one song that was from a movie quote, a line. And they made a hit song from it. Do you know what that is?
No. What one is that?
Oh, me so honey. Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, wow.
That's a quote from the Full Metal Jacket right there.
That's crazy. I grew up with the song. That's hilarious.
Yeah. No, that's all those samples in there. Oh, me, boom, boom, me love you long time. That's from Two Live Crew, sampled that from Full Metal Jacket. Did you guys know that? Shitter's Fool. That's right, from Christmas Vacation. That's right. Someone on Facebook. Jeff Collins. All right, let's knock these out real quick.
Yeah,
my first homie. Oh, by the way, the movie you quoted today, you quoted just a minute ago from Karate Kid. I'm going to show that in a second when I get to this. It's on the list. But I'm going to knock these out. I'm gonna do a bad impression of each one, Sketch. And you tell me
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
You ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready.
Yes.
Coming to the stage, Stevie D.
These are bad
movie line impressions.
I'll refund your cover charge for the show. Merely a flesh wound. We mentioned this last week. Monty Python.
Right.
Canadian. You don't even know Monty Python.
Well, Monty Python's from the UK, but yep.
Oh, what's the difference? All right. Anyway.
So I do.
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
I like that your impressions sound very opposite of what the film is, but yes, that's Dirty Dancing.
Dirty Dancing, yes.
Right, and yet you made it sound like Predator.
If Keanu Reeves was in Dirty Dancing. All right. Gonna need a bigger boat. Gonna need a bigger boat.
Yeah.
A shark.
What was that? Jaws. Yeah.
All right. We gotta keep.
I read the book before I saw the movie.
I know the impression was spot on, so I get Canadian and maybe didn't get
That's
Jaws.
Not throwing me at all off. Yeah.
All right. All right. Ready for a good one?
Okay, here we go.
Say hello to my little friend.
Scarface.
Yes. scary good right there. All right, all right, all right.
Oh, that's Mr. Matthew McConaughey. I have it's
Yes.
every film he's in.
Damn. All right, all right, all right. I'm a lawyer in this fam. All right, all right, all right.
Oh, is that the Lincoln lawyer?
Got any weed? Be a lot cooler if you did. By the way, did you see those Lincoln commercials he did?
Yeah.
I think he
He's
was
driving around
stuff.
talking to himself.
Hey man, there's a cow in front of me, man. Hey, what's up, Mr.
Yeah.
Cow? All right, all right. All right, let's keep,
Yeah.
keep
Yeah.
going. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
All right, that's Clint Eastwood, right?
Gone with the Wind. Come on. If
Sure.
Clint Eastwood was in Gone with the Wind.
No, sorry.
I'll be back.
It's the I'm looking at the impression. You're gritting your teeth like Clint Eastwood and then
Well, he
speaking
had kind
like
of Clark Gable had kind
Clark
of a
Gable.
something. Maybe as his fake mustache is going to fall off. Frankly,
Oh yeah, the wire mustache. Frankly, my dear, I don't give.
What's up, guys? I'll be back.
That's Arnold.
Yeah, from the Terminator. They wanted him to say, "I will be back." He said, "Let me do this take. I'll be back." Iconic. Yeah. Man. All right, here we go. Number three. Sweep the leg. Okay, when these go on iTunes, you won't be able to see this, but that's a mural on a barbershop here in Encino, California, of the All Valley Karate Championship 1984, and it says "Sweep the Leg, Karate Kid."
Mm-hmm.
So my daughter Faith, and she's about 5 years old, I took her there, and Colin got a little haircut. We came out. My hair is shorter then. She said, "Daddy, why are you on the wall of this building?" She thought I was.
That's awesome.
Johnny. Johnny's the bad dude, right? Johnny.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
All right. Where we at?
That should get you a cameo in Cobra Kai then.
Boom! It should right there. You'll shoot your eye out, kid. The next one. You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
No idea.
Christmas Story. Come on.
Never seen it.
We're gonna have to take a commercial break here in just a second.
We're gonna have to do a list of things that we.
By the way, that
was
Faith's suggestion. That was my daughter Faith. You'll shoot your eye out, kid. And my favorite, and again, if you don't agree with the top 10, that's too bad because I wrote the list, and so obviously it's my show, and this is science, man. Don't argue with science. I'm your Huckleberry. Val Kilmer, Tombstone. I'm your Huckleberry. Okay. If you say you never saw Tombstone.
I've seen Tombstone, but
all right, Tombstone. Okay. And that was a dead-on impression, by the way. I'm your Huckleberry.
You didn't say any of mine.
No, I did.
You had your serious.
You had your own special category, and besides, I alady had this written, and I wasn't.
He's like, by the time my homework was done.
All right, give me two of your favorites.
The first one will be "Say What Again." I say that a lot. That's Samuel Jackson. Pulp Fiction. Say what again? And the other one I really like is oh gosh, there's so many. All right, this one. Enough about me. Let's talk about you. What do you think of me? And that's Bette Midler in Beaches.
Good. All right. Well, thank you for schooling me on the Bye Felicia.
Bye Felicia.
All right, bye Felicia, y'all. Bye Felicia. Thank you.
All right, I'm excited about this week's show. Who do we have coming on?
One of my homies from back in the day, and he's killing it. He's written like 3 or 4 movies and directed, and he still talks to me, which is surprising. He has a new comedy special right now called "Who the F is Mike Young?" from Detroit, Rock City. Give it up for my homie, Mr. Mike Young. What up, Mike Young?
Video, audio, what up, though?
Woo! We're high tech, yo.
Stevie.
What's up, brother?
Great to see you, man.
You inspired me, brother, because back in the quarantine, in the early stages, I would like jump on Instagram and stuff, and Mr. Mike Young there would be walking around his loft apartment in Hollywood, little acoustic guitar, serenading the ladies.
You do what you got to do, bro. I was Pee Wee Hermaning it.
Dude,
I turned it into the play.
Was that mistaken? One time, did you do a set with like a built little stage and you just did like a set?
Yeah, I did that 10 times. Stevie, I lost it, bro. Am I good? Is the lighting good? Can you see me?
You're good, man. You're more handsome than ever.
Oh, man.
This ain't age, brother.
Neither do you. You just changed your hats.
Because I got this halo light. Someone told me to get a halo, and that's the trick right there.
What's up, brother? Great seeing you, man.
You and your bro look so much alike.
I mean, when I put the glasses on, for sure, and we
Yeah.
sound alike.
Is he like your manager or something? He's always like in your posse.
He's like my manager. He's not officially, but like if anything goes wrong, I just send in my brother, my much stronger brother, and my more like adamant that we need to handle this brother. He's just better at business.
That's good. That's good because friends will ask you for dumb shit like this, and then obviously your brother wasn't around today because you still did it, but it's good to have someone to step back a little bit.
I can't say no to Stevie D, bro. Come on,
Thank
man.
you, my man.
We go way back.
We go way back, but he had Butch Bradley on the last show.
Yeah, Butch's family.
Butch's family. He was on one of your Young American comedy tours, right?
Yeah, he was. Yo, yeah. Butch, Sebastian, Brett, Bobby Lee, Tripoli. Yeah. You see, bro, I had a $400 million tour that made $89. It was
Dude, I feel the pain, brother. I did Rockstars of Comedy, had everybody blew up. Tripoli and Brett and Whitney Cummings. I'm like,
yeah.
I'm still waiting for a check on that.
Yo, but you know what? Those are learning experiences, bro. And those are like the best moments that you can have. And those are what teach you how to be an entrepreneur. And there were moments looking back where I could have capitalized bigger and made a couple moves and like even got a couple, like Brett and Sebastian, I'll never forget. They called me and they're like, listen, are we partners or are we works for hire? So honestly, I didn't even know what the right answer was supposed to be. Like, I didn't know what the better deal would be. Yeah. And I said works for hire. And they were like, that's all we want to know. And basically they were saying like, if we don't own a piece, we're out. But looking back, I should have been smart enough to go, yo, let's all own a little piece of this pie and do it. But I kind of just was flying by the seat of my pants. You know, I made up the whole tour on the Comedy Store patio out of thin air.
It's beautiful. You know? I was telling Butch because, Butch just had his first special, and I want to talk about your special in a minute. But he was, the production company said, "Hey, man, famous comedians. Can you get them to give a little shout out for you?" And so he was hitting up Tiffany Haddish and friends of ours like that. And I said, I did the same thing with my book. My publisher said, "Hey, famous fucking comedians," and people asked them to write something for the jacket. And I had people, and I was telling him like Ken Jeong that said, "Hey, Stevie's like one of the best guys, and he's a straight up dude, and he's a funny motherfucker." And I'm like, "Yeah, but you didn't say anything about the book, the product." And he's like, "Yeah, my people said I can't specifically say the book is in case you say some offensive shit, which you probably will, and then it'll be, like God
hilarious."
Damn.
That just means he didn't read the book. He
didn't read it, and
we were looking for a quote
saying the same thing. But just like with you, I was saying, well, agents and people get in the way. Like when I did that, I'd have Steve Burr and Brad and everybody saying, "Bro, I'm in, let's do this." And then I talked to their people and they're like, "Too many, you can't have, you can't have these rights and you can't have this and international." I'm like, I didn't even think about that shit. I'm just saying we're homies and let's make some funny content.
And that's usually how the best stuff gets made, is just with that attitude. And then a lot of people get in the mix and can mess it up. But the best lawyers and the best managers, the best agents, they're the ones who go, "Okay, cool, he's doing it." And then they step back. They just take their piece or whatever, and they already understand that it's going to happen. Yeah. So, bro, that's just the business we're in. It's an upside down business. Yeah. I've always been outside the lines, even all the way to high school, I was outside the lines. You know what I mean? I was always my own little mentally outlaw type of person. Like, you're a real outlaw. I was like a fake Jewish outlaw, I was just making up my own
gangster.
I just made up my own way of doing things, and that's worked for me because I never saw the reason for rules, and I always try to do the right thing no matter what. So like if I'm making money and we're all together, let's all, when I was doing the Young American tour, everyone was, at the time, I thought it was a lot of money. So I just gave everybody like $2,000 a week, basically. Yeah. And I didn't realize that that was more than enough money at our time, because on the weekends when they go headline on their own, they were only getting $1,500 a week by themselves. Yeah. So I basically, whatever, I cut myself out of about $100,000 that year, but it was the most fun I've ever had. All my boys are still friends, and we can always it keeps coming up in conversation to where I'll do it again if somebody wants to step up, Yeah. They can have it.
Yeah, let's do it again. Last week on BuzzFeed, I was just telling Sketch, my producer here, that on BuzzFeed they did a story on where is Tom Anderson to MySpace, and they showed like 6 pictures of Tom. 4 out of the 6, he's rocking my Rockstars of Comedy hat. I'm like, I didn't know how to monetize that shit. Can you imagine if Zuckerberg was wearing our gear?
You just sold 500,000 hats that year.
Oh my god, dude!
The tour, it would have been merchandise.
Oh my gosh, we gotta rock the merch. But
I've
always admired you, and always, had you on my other show, whatever, 5-6 years ago. And that was funny. I was at Craig's in Hollywood, and that's where like TMZ is outside and shit. And I went with this older couple that were really looking for it. They're like, Stevie, celebrities always come in here. I'm like, okay, that's good, but I kind of work with celebrities. They're like, no, we're going to show you. I'm like, okay, but meanwhile, I see Mike Young over there with the whole cast of Entourage.
Exactly.
Rolling with the whole
back door.
And they didn't have a clue. I'm like, there's my homie right there with the cast of. Yeah, but listen, some celebrities going to be coming in here in a minute.
Right. We're going to see the cast of The Hills.
Yeah,
We're going to see the cast of Cooking for Nonsense. We're about to
Green Acres is going to.
Green Acres is coming. Make Your Meatballs at Midnight's coming in. Oh, we're going to see everybody. Meanwhile,
Dallas J.R. Ewing may be rolling up in here in a minute.
Seriously, in a wheelchair, poor guy. Yeah, man, people don't know. They get excited about the wrong things. Or Craig's is one of those places, though. Last time I was at Craig's, Dice walked up to me. You know how Dice is just like in his own lane and just kind of like does whatever he wants?
Yep.
I was having a dinner with a buddy, writer friend of mine, like just 2 of us having dinner. And Dice just walks up to the table and he's just like, Mike, can I talk to you outside for a minute? I go,
like, get up from your dinner.
I've never had a meeting with Dice. We talk outside for a minute. I go, I guess, like, this is my buddy Chris, Andrew, Chris. Like, do you mind? Maybe he's got like something serious going on. I'll go out. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I go outside with Dice. He just wants a friend to sit out there so he can smoke a cigarette and like pretend the paparazzi are looking for him. He's like, they're all over the place. I go, bro, they're not shooting you at all. They're aiming at like Tobey Maguire as he rolls in. They're not even.
He's like, oh, hey, hickory dickory dock.
But you gotta love them, and you gotta love the Hollywood thing, man. I don't know.
I love it, brother. So, brother, you got a new special called "Who the F is Mike Young?"
Yes, sir. I do. Who the F is Mike Young? You want me to take it from here?
I know who the F is Mike Young. Tell them how this came. So, did this come about from stuff you were doing? Because you've been touring with Saget.
I've been touring with Saget, but in the middle of tour with Saget, Sebastian asked me to do 9 shows with him on the road 2 years ago.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, like a year and a half ago when he was shooting his last special. He's like, I got 9 cities before my special. You'll do 9 shows at the Beacon Theater before he shoots a special.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, absolutely, bro. Yeah, I got you. So I opened for Sebastian for 9 shows at the Beacon. Showtime was shooting it. And after they shot it, obviously they filmed me as well just to get the practice on the camera moves for Sebastian.
Yeah.
So I had all this amazing footage of myself. I went to Showtime. I said, hey, man, can I have my footage? They were like, yeah, here it is. They gave me my footage. So
really?
They gave me my footage and I edited it in and I went and shot like a narrative TV series called Who the F is Mike Young also that had like little sketches and, played out in a half hour. And I wove my stand-up special into my narrative scripted.
Oh, wow. That's cool, man.
And I made a cool special, and Bill Burr was awesome enough to put it on All Things Comedy and ran it. And now it's on All Things Comedy YouTube network. And it's going
That's
great.
Awesome, brother.
My first special, bro. I got to
cool.
retire
It's
my
cool of them to give you the footage too.
Oh, it was beyond cool. Like, it was just a phone call. I asked, and they didn't say no. I feel like I tricked them. Like, I feel like they didn't even know what I was asking for.
Did you say like, yeah, I'm not going to do anything with it. Just show my mom.
I'll do nothing. I'm taking it home to Detroit. I got to show the family the Beacon Theater. It's so nice. It's so
back
beautiful.
in the D. Yeah.
And so I shot it, bro. And I did all my material that, all the old stuff. And the narrative kind of followed the storyline. So I'd be on stage doing my like over 30, under 30, and then cut to a scene of a girl under 30, like leaving my apartment, but not leaving, so like it fit the bit. And I rolled with it and it worked. And like Burr was and Burt Kreischer and All Things Comedy and all those guys over there just like got behind it and they put it out. So it's out there now. And part of it lives on this app called Ficto. That's like a new a network too, like an app. So I shot it and I'll see what I retire. And now it's time to start looking at new material. You know what I mean? As the world opens, I can't have Steve Burr yelling at me about, retire your softball team bit already.
Yeah, yeah.
It's over, bro. We already know every stripper's putting herself through school.
Yeah.
Hey, man, when it works, it works. When do you retire a bit?
Dude, I'm still doing the hair flip for like 25 years, bro. That's my opening.
Why not?
That's my opening.
You go see the Rolling Stones. You want to hear Wild Horses.
You better fucking you better play Wild Horses, bro.
Right?
I was thinking the other day when I first booked you for this, back when Sergio Love and I had the Cat Club, and you did the Honey Johnson, whatever, the stripper, and then
Pussycat Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still do it.
I love that bit.
I mean, listen, that bit doesn't get old. And I've had
Never.
Johnson, I've had her up on stage.
She's a doctor now.
She's doing great.
She's doing great.
She's doing great.
You paid her way through medical school.
Exactly. She's doing phenomenal, bro. She's got an office up in Hollywood Hills.
Very appreciative. Yes.
She's doing great.
So, hey, buddy, you've had how many movies now have you written and directed? Because I don't know if you heard up front tonight. You probably couldn't hear, but we did top 10 movie quotes, and I said instead of asking Mike Young one of his top movie quotes, I'm like, what is one of your favorite quotes that you've written for one of your movies?
Oh man.
Stamos or
by the way, I'm acting like I've got so many amazing quotes.
Like, wait.
By the way, my memory's not. But Michael Rappaport's been in 2 of my movies, and he always lands like amazing quotes.
Uh-huh.
And by the way, Callan had some great quotes. So like, I'd say in My Man is a Loser, there's a scene in a bar where Rappaport approaches these drunk Australian dudes who are trying to steal his business. And so he just starts going on and on about like, American football is way tougher than Australian.
Oh, I know that's it.
You don't know this. You know what I mean? And they're like, calm down, Marty. And he just goes, fuck you, mate. And he just kills it. So like, that's a great quote that he always lands. And then Callan has some great lines in My Man is a Loser also.
Callan's the best, man.
Yeah, Callan nailed that part. He really killed it in that movie. Man, I'll have to think of some quotes, bro.
Callan was the coolest. When I did Rockstars of Comedy, like I said, we're all buddies, and Callan was probably the biggest name at the time, and he was the easiest. He's like, whatever you want to do, bro. And I'm like, yeah, but he's like, we're good to go. Whatever you want, I'm there. That was
Isn't
fucking
that beautiful.
It was the best.
That's what he did. He did that for me when we were getting ready to do My Man is a Loser. I was in Miami opening for Callan. And so the whole time I'm like, yo, Brian, you're perfect for this part, bro. I'm like, 100%, this is all you. He's like, everybody says they're doing a movie, bro. There's no way you're doing a movie. Everybody. I'm like, I promise you, man. The money's in the bank. We're doing a movie. You'd be perfect opposite Stamos and Rappaport. And he's like, send me the script. I'll see what you're really talking about. So I sent him the script from my computer while we're having coffee together in Miami. He reads it that night. The next morning, he's like, bro, I love this script. It's great. I'm in. I'll audition. I'm like, bro, you don't have to audition. I'm the boss.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not the boss, like the money's the boss.
Yeah.
But I pushed him through, and he was so perfect because he's got such an original voice.
Yeah.
And Callan, like, he's just the funniest dude in regular life.
Yeah.
So I just wrote his voice in regular life.
Yeah.
And he nailed it. It was great.
He's the best. On my Rockstars of Comedy movie poster, everyone's looking at Callan, who was doing some crazy shit, and like Burn, everyone's laughing, looking at Callan.
Yeah.
But real quick, like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. I want to do 6 degrees of Stevie D and Mike Young here with Stamos. So I was in Stamos's music video Forever back in the day.
No way. You never mentioned that. I've known you for 20 years. I never heard this.
And Saget, check this out. So my 10th high school reunion, I was president of my class, but I was a fuck up. I was just, just a funny idiot.
Level, yeah.
So I was president of class, which didn't mean anything. So they're like, hey man, we got this reunion coming up. I'm like, yeah, I can't make it, bro. I'm just doing some real important gigs at the Laugh Factory. And they're like, well, we're doing like a program, putting a book together. Where are they now? And who's married? And so the program comes out and they said, well, send us a picture of what you're doing. I'm like, so there's a picture of Saget and I at the Laugh Factory, and so I just sent it to show off, like, yeah, I'm too busy to get back to Kentucky to do this little high school bullshit. So the program comes out and it's like all these married couples, they've got 3 kids and they're living in Tennessee, and Stevie D and Bob Saget out in California. So we always thought that dude was weird. So
you rode that for a while. You rode that
one in Kentucky. I think I'm married to Bob Saget. So
hilarious. He'll go with it, by the way. He'll roll right with it.
I'm rolling with it.
Bob's a good dude, man.
He is a good dude. All right, brother. What do you got coming up?
Well, this weekend I'm performing for the first time in a year, man. Me and Saget are playing the Hard Rock Casino in Atlantic City. So we got 2 shows this Saturday night, whatever it is, April, what is it, the 14th, maybe 13th, 14th, 15th, 17th. The 17th. Yeah, Atlantic City Hard Rock, and then we're doing Irvine Improv the following week.
Nice.
But yeah, my special is out right now on Bill Burr's All Things Comedy. And my new movie, I'm getting ready to direct a new film that I also wrote, and we're shooting in Detroit, which is why I'm here. And it's called Stealing Jokes. And
nice.
It's my new movie. It's an idea that I've had for a long time. I finally just buckled down, wrote the script, and we're gonna make it, man.
Right on, brother.
Yeah. So it's it's been a cool ride, Stevie. I always say, like, man, I don't know if it's going great or if it's over tomorrow. I don't know.
Either way, it's all good, man. It's
all good. So I'm making that, and then my movies are all 3 of them are now on Amazon Prime that I've done. So A Stand-Up Guy is on Amazon Prime now. My Man is the Loser, and then I wrote and executive produced a movie called Adam, starring Aaron Paul and Jeff Daniels, and so that's on Amazon right now too.
I'm proud of you, brother.
Yeah, thanks, Stevie.
You know what's next? You and I are going to do another rap CD. That's what we're going to do.
You don't scare me, bro. I want to end my movie with a rap cameo of myself.
Are you?
Nice. I had that thought yesterday. I'm like, you're not going to kill my dreams.
Make that dream come true, brother.
Hey, that's all I keep doing is just, if you're not going to, all I got to do is convince a couple people.
That's all you got to do.
Buddy.
Get this guy on your next one. The Gronk.
Bro, I still talk to Gronk. Once in a while, I'll text him just to keep him in the mix.
You got to keep his phone. He keep his number in your phone. My son loves him, and I'm like, that's my homie. That's Mike Young with the Gronk.
He's a great dude, man. I wrote his show. God, what was it called? Jesus.
Were they showed like the clips?
No, I wrote his monologue for a show we did for Showtime.
Okay.
And Gronk was the host. And so I wrote it and actually produced it. And of course, I can't even remember the damn name of it. It was only 2 years ago. But we went to Gronk's house and hung with him and got him to do the monologue. And he actually is a genuinely funny, great dude.
He's a funny, carefree dude, man.
Man, he was in high school. I showed up. Him and his boys were throwing 85-mile-an-hour fastballs with a hardball at each other. I'm not even kidding. And then 5 minutes later, he's dunking backwards on the driveway, not even worried about an ankle injury. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's real deal. He's
all right. That's how we're still bringing it. But you and I are we could pull a hamstring or tear an Achilles.
Bro, Callan taught me one thing, Stevie D.
What's that?
Callan taught me that deadlifting is the only exercise that you need. That's what he said. And all I've been doing for probably 15 years, all I do, I just keep putting it up, putting it down. That's it. It's fully functional. I can shut my car door without pulling a muscle. I can drive without pulling a muscle. I can lift up my nephews if I have to. You know what I mean? It's all real life workout stuff.
And stretch.
And stretch, which I have not been doing. And I'd love to talk about my ailments, but there's too many of them.
We'll bring you back on for an hour of Mike Young's ailments.
Yo, Mike Young's ailments, bro. You don't want to hear it.
That's a long list.
It's put me in the shrink's office at least 6 times in the pandemic.
All right, buddy. I love you, man. Real quick, before I let you go, tell me one hell yeah moment. We're one moment where you're like, fuck yeah. How you like me now?
Hell yeah?
Yeah.
Can I name drop?
Yeah, please.
The name drop, but I might as well since
do it.
One hell yeah moment. I'm on a basketball team 15 years ago with DiCaprio, Cassavetes, Connolly, and I get a phone call from Leo's assistant, Mike, pack a bag for 3 days. You guys are going to Vegas for a private birthday party on a private plane, and you got 8-bedroom suite at the top of a hotel. You know what I said? Hell yeah!
Nice. Nice.
Hell yeah!
Perfect.
I'm
Everybody,
going.
my homie for 20 years plus, Mr. Mike Young. Check him out, y'all. And where can they find you on social media?
At the real Mike Young is the Instagram. At Mike Young at Mike Young is my Twitter, and that's it. Just watch Who the F is Mike Young on All Things Comedy YouTube, and you'll make Stevie D happy.
All right, brother. Thank you, man.
Appreciate you, Stevie D.
Love you, buddy. All right. All right, everybody. That was my homie from back in the day for 20 plus years, Mr. Mike Young. But now let's get to some pretty people because, Mike, is funny and everything, but let's get to some beauty. What I'm doing here that I'm pretty high tech. I got an iPad and everything right here. This lovely lady, we've been friends on Instagram. We have a lot of mutual friends. And I'm like, I had to get her on the show, but she kept saying, where can I find this show? I need to check out this show before I actually commit to the show. But yeah, I'm down. But first, where can I find this show? But anyway, she's a comedian, an actress, a podcaster. She's done 90 plus commercials, which is about 88 more commercials than I've done. Please give it up for the lovely and talented Sarah J. Halstead.
That's actually not true. I really wanted to watch your show. That's what I don't know Facebook at all. I don't know. I used to be on Facebook, and then I just, put all my attention into one platform, which is Instagram. And I just totally forgot how to use it, how to navigate around it. But yes. And then you were having all my friends on your show, and you're not inviting me.
Like this to get her attention. One more.
Well, no, you weren't inviting me. And I was like, what? And then
not
finally
true,
you
not
invited
true,
me.
not true. I was like, let me see who her friends are and who I know. And then I would check off who I've had on the list and see her little.
Well, I'm happy to connect with you finally. I just ordered your book just now.
Oh, I would have sent you one.
It looks absolutely fascinating. And what a story you have. I can't wait to read it. Yeah.
I thank you, and my ghostwriter thanks you. Really.
Right. They help, don't they? They help. But I'm really happy to finally connect with you because we have been following each other for a minute.
Yeah. Now, I love your videos. Is that your husband you do that video with?
No, that is, we just recently broke up. That's my ex-boyfriend. So in other words,
because you were coming on the show?
Because I know that you wanted both of us. I'm like, I hope he still wants me
I wanted
on
you.
the show.
I wanted you.
Am I strong enough to be solo? Can I be beautiful music, cover tunes that she makes her own?
I saw your tambourine skills. I'm like, yeah, she can bring it.
I can do it. All right. But it's fine. I'm fine. It's very, very fresh. The breakup's very fresh. I wasn't really sure if it was like final, but I knew it was final when I saw he removed my access from his Hulu and HBO Max accounts. That was like, whoa, baby. That's really.
You try to jump onto his account and you no longer have access.
I know, he blocked me from his Hulu and HBO Max. I'm like, whoa, that shit is real.
Woo!
That
I saw
shit.
A joke. I don't know who did it, but someone said a joke where then they made the account, the name like, call me or tag. We can,
Oh, really? Oh, that's so funny. That's really, really funny.
Why aren't you returning my calls? Name on the account.
Well, I changed my Wi-Fi. The title of my Wi-Fi. I live in an apartment building, and my Wi-Fi is "Get off my Wi-Fi" because people were piggybacking. So
Really?
That's not the name of it. Yeah, I guess smart people can do that.
Yeah.
I guess.
I do that in the double wide here with the neighbor's power. I just kind of jack it and come on over.
Well, look at you with that prime real estate with the Hollywood sign in the back.
Illegally parked up here.
All right, where are you? In the hills?
I'm in the hills. Wink, wink. So were you at the Polo Lounge today, Sarah?
I was at the Polo Lounge at a sexy bar drinking a nice glass of Domaine Haute. I have been in the wine and champagne industry for 21 years. And
what does that mean? Like you're like,
yeah, I'm a
represent?
certified som, and that's really been like my that was my career before I gave it up to become a full-time comic. And then COVID hit, and then then I got into the wine business. And I tell you, the wine business always gets my back.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would have done had I not had that during COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of my friends had to move home, and like the more established comics, I think were good, because they have savings, and they're, and they were, they had an audience, so they could actually make money off Zoom shows.
Yeah.
Because they're established. But when you're like kind of like more of an up and comer like me, if I didn't have the wine business, I don't know what would have happened, quite frankly. So I'm really,
I'm the same way with the fitness business. I've had a fitness business for 25 years.
Oh, really?
Which I've never given up. And, still, do my other things and produce things and write book, whatever, and do comedy. But I'm always like, I love fitness, and I've always been involved. And I know you work out also, but
I don't know what I would do without the gym, right? What would we do without that? We need that.
If I didn't have my jazzercise class, I'm telling you right now.
Jazzercise. I have a bit that I was flying through a class at the gym, and I was doing really well. And then afterwards I found out it was called Silver Sneakers.
I love that joke. I heard that. Yeah, you're like showing off. You're like the one in class.
Exactly. I'm like, hey, I'm the leader, yeah, that was that bit was in my special, and my special RVs and Cats came out the first day of the mandatory stay-at-home order. So like
March of 2020.
Yep, March of 2020. It came out like March 18th or something like that. Yeah. So I wasn't really able to, even though it did really well as a result, I wasn't really able to like go out and promote it and, ride the wave of it or anything.
So where did you shoot that?
I shot it at Second City, Hollywood. And have you ever been to that space? It's so quaint.
I haven't been to Second City. Is that Melrose or La Brea?
It's Hollywood Boulevard.
Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah, right, like right in the heart of Hollywood, and cute little stage, cute, the velvet chairs and a nice brick background, a nice, brick wall, and I just wanted it to be small so it would feel bigger.
I did the same thing. I shot a special one, and I learned a new term, a pitch theater. So a pitch theater is one that goes down.
Okay.
So they're here, but then the audience goes up, the chairs go up at an angle.
Oh.
So it's called a pitch theater, and it always looks bigger than it actually is.
Now you perform music too.
I just goof around, not really. I mean, I play a
like you were never in a band, or I know you like hang out with Tommy Lee.
We're gonna have I did a thing with Tommy Lee, but you and I are gonna have a little tambourine, little Devil Went Down to Georgia thing one day. But
can we please? I'm pretty good at pretending. I fake that I know what I'm doing on all instruments, actually, every single one.
I'm a frustrated musician as a kid, and I used to do a bit. Well, I still do it. It's 20 years old. Where I wanted to be a rock star, but I didn't know how to learn to play. I didn't learn to play an instrument or sing. So my mom felt sorry for me and bought me a tambourine. So you don't see a lot of badass rock stars go, "What's up, fucker?" Hey.
Yeah, it's all in the hips.
Solo.
It's all in the hips.
It's little Josie and the Pussycats.
That's it. But you're still telling jokes, right? I mean,
I'm still telling jokes. Not currently.
Yeah, you're performing. You're like out there. I've never shared a mic with you, probably because you're like, I don't know, what do you do nationwide? You travel a lot.
Well, Judy and I, Sketch, my producer here, I used to have Thursday nights at the Laugh Factory, and she was my DJ. So I had Laugh Factory, and then I left before you came in there.
Okay.
But yeah, we will share a stage.
I do Monday nights. They haven't bumped me up to Thursday yet.
Well, we did. I do a monthly thing at the Haha too on a Friday night. I want to get you over there.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Mike Marino. I'm sure you know Mike Marino.
Yes, I do. Yes. Good guy. Funny.
So we do a fun show at the Haha. And I know you do the Haha sometimes.
I do the Haha sometimes. I just talked to Jack actually, and they have a beautiful show outside right now. Like
Yeah,
really,
I'm so
really
glad
nice.
they made it. I'm so glad they weathered the storm.
Me too.
I went over there the night before, because in the summer they open like 2 or 3 weeks, and he did everything that they asked him to do, move everything outside. He spent like, thousands of dollars on the sound and all the equipment from outside, and they still shut him down. And so I went over and got food for the family just to try to support them.
Oh,
But
you're
I'm
amazing.
glad Jack Jr.
That's
is over
amazing.
there now, and they're bringing
Yeah.
in heavy hitters.
Yeah, he is. It's easy to do because I think, the heavy hitters, they'll perform anywhere right now. Not that haha isn't established and great,
Mhm.
but the heavy hitters will perform in a garage right
Yeah.
now. I'm
Yeah.
noticing, because they have to work it out. I mean, even if they have been performing, they haven't been performing as much.
Yeah.
So it's I'm seeing heavy hitters perform in like church parking lots.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing, and it kind of feels good that we're all just kind of like in the same playing field right now.
Yeah.
I have a live show Sunday at this new comedy club called Comedy Chateau. Have you heard of this?
No.
It's like adjacent to haha. Like you could throw a
Oh,
stone
across the
and it
street?
could crack their window.
Jack told
Yeah.
me about that.
Shit. So I don't know what's going to happen to haha. I hope that, I think it's going to be different. I mean, there's room. There's, it's kind of nice for us comics because we can do a little, do a mic there, then do a mic at Comedy Chateau,
And that used to be fun, like back in the day, in Sunset. I'd go to Comedy Store or haha, or you could bounce around, but haha is kind of out of the way. I love the haha. I love Jack and Terry. But
yeah, me too.
I hope they stay cool with the new people across the street so we can bounce,
I hope we can bounce. I hope it doesn't offend them.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I did like the Laugh After Dark podcast there at Comedy Chateau. And the producer walked me to my car, and I had to pretend that I was going the other way. I didn't want him to see that I was going to haha. So
yeah.
I purposely
I'm
turned
good.
the other way.
Yeah. I have mace. I'm good. No, I love Jack and Terry. And I was with
me
them back
too.
in the day. They used to be up the street at another club.
Yeah, that's right. That was before I got here. That was
Before you
before.
got here, yeah.
What was that like? That was similar
That was cool.
to.
That was
Okay.
cool also. I think some lease was up or something, so they bought the place down the street or something. But I'm glad they're back up and running and they weathered the storm. So you and I are definitely going to do a show together.
You know what? You're like really balanced. You have your comedy, and you're a writer, and you're in a successful marriage, and you have a beautiful family. You have.
Thank you.
I know you have the girl. You have 2 kids or one?
I have a boy and a girl.
A boy and a girl.
The girl's the one I do the dance videos with. I pretend like it's her idea. Like, okay, I'll do it. I'm like, step 2, you missed a step. Damn it.
You're such a great dad, man. That's like really, finding balance is, I think, a very big challenge for creatives in this town.
Well, thank you. And same with you. And, we know a lot of comics, and I know tons of comics that I don't hang out with that much, but I have a handful that are a little more balanced, like we are, that you can have a conversation with, and it's not, not dark or not depressed or whatever. And you saw a lot of that during the COVID, and a lot of comics couldn't perform and get that therapy, And
Yeah, we had to find other ways to create, and I mean, I did a lot of really dumb videos, and it kind of looked desperate a little bit.
No,
but
it was fun. It was so fun.
It was just a way to just have that outlet,
Yeah.
and to not let that piece of you die.
Yeah.
Pretty much, because it's an important part of your soul.
For sure.
And you got to keep it alive somehow,
Like
whether even
I never knew how to do
self-tapes.
any of this, like the zooming, and I'd never done that before the COVID.
Yeah, no, nor have I. I mean, I'm a ninja on all that stuff now, I mean, we're pretty good at it. And,
Yeah.
And yeah, like whatever, like even the smallest thing that was creative that would come my way, I would be so appreciative. And I think that I just have more gratitude now than I have in the past for things, like when I get a self-tape, I used to curse self-tapes, but now I'm like, oh, thank you, Jesus. And I get really into it. And I went method this past weekend. I had a really big audition, and I went totally dark and method and did the nails, and oh my goodness, it was so much fun. But
a video you were doing an audition or something, and I don't know if you had on like underwear or bikini bottom, but you had a blazer, and you're like, hey, not the wide shot. Really need.
Oh yeah, that was for a benefit. Yeah, right when the pandemic had started. Yeah, that was like one of those, telethon benefits. And they probably all your friends were on that show. That was all musicians and some and then I was
love
like
all your
very
videos.
few
They're
comics.
always funny. I loved when you were doing something like a saxophone player comes in the background, like doing a solo.
Oh, that Mindy A there. I can't believe she agreed to that.
So cool.
I was like, really? Because I'm going to totally pimp you out. I'm going to put you on all my social. She was so cool. So I don't know if you know her, but she's like a top jazz Billboard Grammy nominated. She's like a big deal. And I was like, hey, and I'm friends with her husband. Her husband's in the wine business. And so I'm, friends with Mindy. And it's like, hey, would you mind doing a cameo and beautiful music, cover tunes that we make our own?
And you're like, she won't do it. And she did it.
Yeah. She was great about it. Yeah.
That's jazz is a little sophisticated for me. I know George Benson but I'm more of like the rock guy. And
you're the rock guy. Yeah. You're probably buddies with Dean Del Rey.
I know Dean Del Rey, of course.
Yeah. He's one of my favorites.
Dean's awesome. And I work with a lot of rock stars. I got a project coming up now where you just try to use your friends and keep everybody in the same loop, in your same tribe,
Yeah. That's what, be around people who are like-minded and make you feel good. Mm-hmm. Right.
You've really done 90 commercials.
I probably have done more, to be honest, then this funny thing happened in like my third year of doing commercials. They discovered I was white. What? Crazy. It's just nuts. It's like they just had like, she's white. So yeah, it just stopped.
You can't work after that. Yeah.
It was like just, I just walked into a brick wall and broke my nose.
When did that? I didn't even realize that myself. When did that? That's so crazy. Like I did commercials for years, or went on auditions and stuff, and then my son was born, and my wife hears of some casting, and I'm like, it's a cattle call with some mommy group, and then he got a call back, and he got like some 3-year contract with Graco, like strollers and stuff. Oh. And she thought like, well, whoa, this is easy. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't work like that. No, you go on like 50. And then, so my daughter came along, they started calling us on family things. And we would drive to Hollywood. I'm like, no, it was a fluke. But he worked a little bit, but we went to Hollywood a couple of times, and we would get there and we'd be like the only white family, and every nationality. It was like, United Nations. I'm like, you didn't even know what race, really? Because we drove from Calabasas, and I'm like, this.
You know what? You were the wild card.
Yeah,
You're the wild card, and just so they can say that they're, being equal to all. You have to have all races.
Well, the good thing is, once we didn't get a few of those, then she got it out of her system. I'm like, told you.
It's fatiguing. It is like the callbacks and the prepping and the driving, before COVID, a lot of driving. And but I really am very, very pro diversity. Like, I think this is awesome. I really cool. And I don't, and there's the pendulum will swing again. I'm just, patient and I'm proud of this movement. So man, all the power to what's happening right now, yeah. And then acting, kind of the same thing with theatrical stuff, kind of the same thing. But what I get called in for a spooky white woman. I always play like the ignorant, racist white woman that's kind of spooky.
Yeah. You're a good actress. If you can pull that off, then
that's usually that's almost everything I've booked, actually. Recently.
Well, that's what bugged me a little bit when I had the Thursday night show at the Laugh Factory. Is like, we had everybody. And I tried to do rock stars of comedy, but incorporate everybody. I had a Jewish guy, a Korean guy, a female, everything, because funny is funny. And I didn't even like the, I love diversity. I didn't like one night was chocolate sundaes, one night's Asian invasion, one night is like, what if it's just funny? Why are you trying to separate everybody?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree. Although I do like that room, chocolate sundaes. I've done it the first time. I slayed. And then the second time just slayed. Nice. And they had me back right away, and they were really, really excited about me. And then the second time it was Easter Sunday night, and I bombed. And they put me on first.
And that's a painful bomb too there.
Oh, I bombed so hard. Yeah. So now I don't know where I am with chocolate sundaes, but that's a fun room. But I hear what you're saying. I don't think anything should just be one. I had a little bar show at this awesome little spot called the Oyster House in Studio City, and I did that every Monday night.
Oh yeah, is that on Moore Park or something?
Yes. Yeah. Having a weekly show is exhausting, by the way. So is your show weekly or monthly?
I've done many weekly comedy shows, Zoom shows.
Wow.
This is weekly, and it gets to be like the weekend, and I'll have one guest or a couple of tentative guests, and I'll forget to follow up, or they won't confirm, and then I'm like, oh shit, I gotta put this. I can't even imagine people that do a daily podcast, or
oh God, I know
Logan or Adam Carolla, or people that just do like a daily. I'm like, whew.
Oh, I know. They live and breathe comedy, and they can do it. I mean, kudos. That's just I don't have that liberty, man. But great,
And also they're being monetized to do that.
Yeah.
Which is always a good incentive.
Yes, it is a good incentive. I'm taking a little break from podcasting right now. I don't know. I'm not sure. I created 3 podcasts. One was called Drinking During Business Hours. And that was really, really successsul, but I didn't realize how successful it was until I quit that one. And I started doing Comedy Stores podcast at the, they have like a nice little sound studio in the basement
downstairs.
I started doing that, and it was, I don't know, like it didn't really go as much. And I think something about that drinking during business hours, it attracted like a lot of people in the wine business, Yeah. And then the third podcast was with Daryl Hammond from
I was going to ask you about that one.
Yeah. And that was the Improv, that cute little what's it called? The lab at the Improv. And that was they're just really, really exhausting. And the thing with that podcast, it was political, and I'm just not a topical comic. It's not, I can talk about it. And, like right now, if you want to like talk about that, we can, but like in terms of like transitioning that into comedy, like it wasn't really my, what I'm about.
Yeah. So,
and then COVID hit. So we were like, okay, and we just kind of let it go.
Yeah. I try to steer away from all politics. This is an escape. We talk about silly stuff and music and comedy, but enough.
Keep it fun. Oh, especially the past 4 years, right? Like we just we need to escape.
And I say ignorance is bliss, but there's something for your mind to stay away from the news. It's not healthy to be.
I agree.
It
can be really, really toxic.
Yeah.
And it can just take you down that spiral of negativity in a really low frequency.
I hear you. So let me ask you real quick. Did you ever get in trouble for a joke?
Yeah. Oh, I sure did. Oh yeah.
That's what we want to hear about.
Woo. Oh yeah. The biggest one was I was performing for the Thunderbirds. So for the troops in Las Vegas, the Naval Academy base in Vegas. And my opener, I thought was so brilliant. I thought it was so funny. I couldn't wait to say it. Thank you. My opener where it was, where are my gender fluids? See, you're laughing. It's brilliant.
I would have laughed at that.
Yeah, they did not like that.
Yes.
And I was like, come on, not one person here is gender fluid. Like I couldn't let it go. you
Yeah.
know?
You're like, no, that was funny shit. We're going to talk about it for the next 15 minutes until I get you.
Just letting it go, like just let it go.
No.
I couldn't let it go, you know? So they gave me the check. They paid me really handsomely, you know, and I felt, you know, and I bombed. Like they just were never able to.
You couldn't get them back?
Yeah, they just couldn't like get over that opener. They just put them in a bad spot, evidently. And I remember like depositing that check before I got to the car.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever get invited back. So maybe the troops isn't my thing.
That's why I always open with the hair flip and the hair and the key part and whatever. And I go, okay, that's my opener for 20 years. But then I'm like, okay.
And then you can be you. Yeah. Well, that is you. That is you. But then you can, you go into the stuff. And
I've never been brave enough to open, like I've got to do the obvious, like, you know, I got to do the first impression thing. And then like, okay, we good? Everybody's cool? All right.
Yeah.
I could do a couple things that maybe not everybody will laugh. This may piss you off a little bit, but at least you know, like, you know,
what you're all about. Yeah. I think you want to let them feel, you want them to know that they're secure, that they're safe, they're with a pro. Yeah. Just relax. This is good. You know, because there's nothing worse than being with a newcomer who's insecure and you don't know what kind of ride you're going to go on. Like, are you going to have to laugh out of politeness? Is it going to be uncomfortable? Is he going to take out a gun? I mean, I've been in that situation where I'm like, what is going on with this comic right now?
Sketchy.
Yeah, because it's just like that kind of really dark.
This person's gonna snap. It may not be tonight, but I was on a plane with a big comic. I won't say their name, but they went on to commit suicide, and I was flying to Miami, and I was sitting there, I'm like, hey, and I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a cool ride for 5 hours, and we know each other from the Laugh Factory, and it had like 6 or 7 big specials, and I'm like, oh wow, cool. I'm sitting by so and so, and so he goes, hey, good to see you. And I'm like, and then the rest of the flight, sweaty, looking around. I'm like, oh shit, is this guy gonna hijack the plane? But he went on to like kill himself. And I'm like, he could have done it right then, because the whole ride, I'm like, this guy is on the edge.
Yeah, I can surmise with whom you're.
I said, drinks speaking. Are on me. What was it gonna take here, buddy?
Yeah. No, it's a lot of them are. I think a lot of them are dark. I'm kind of introverted, to be honest, you know, but yeah, I mean, but I make you make it funny. I mean, my special, I'm not an observational comic. I'm kind of the antithesis of, I talk about me, you know, I talk about what I know. I talk about my life, you know, and you gotta like make it funny, you know? So as long as you can make it funny, you know, that's a nice outlet for me, and it just balances me out.
You're a great joke writer. Like you actually write a joke and you tell a joke.
Oh, thank you. Thanks. That means so much to hear. Thank you very much.
That's a craft, and you've got it, and you're great at telling a joke, you know, a setup, you know, and a punch. Like there's a payoff. You're not just like,
thank you.
Teeters off somewhere.
You know, and some people don't really have to have that punch, you know, like the storytellers, and they get away with being interesting the whole time. I can't do that. I got a premise, setup, punch. Yeah. You know, premise, setup, punch.
And I think that's more work for you.
Probably.
Each joke is quick, and then you got to tell another joke. You know what I mean?
Where like I
can just. I had someone on a couple of weeks ago. Someone we know, I forgot who it was. Butch Bradley or somebody, another comic. And I'm like, man, you have to be at a level where you can tell a 12-minute joke, a story, and they're still with you.
Yeah.
I'm
Craig
like,
Shoemaker.
And can just tell that. And they're with you for the ride.
Yes. Actually, I just saw Bill Burr live. He kind of rambled on and on and on in the most fascinating way I've ever seen.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
He was going somewhere. He had a roadmap, you know.
That's right. Right.
So which one of your jokes would you say is the most repeated? Which one do people throw at you if they see you, or which one do you hear coming back to you?
Oh, gosh, let's see. If you're not divorced, you will be.
Settle down or whatever you say, or like.
Yeah, like they love the cocaine stuff. I don't know what I like. Anytime I'm bombing, all I have to do is throw out the cocaine stuff, and it, and I'm not sure why they find that so funny. I think it's because it's the opposite. I kind of look like soccer mom, and then I throw out the long cocaine bit, and they just, God, they love that.
You got 'em.
My dad doesn't like that, but you got to kind of like not think about friends or family or grandma, or do you block that out in your comedy? Do you just do it for you?
You have to. I mean, you have to.
Yeah.
If I'm talking about a family member, one of my most repeated bits was about an Uncle Ricky I had who was like a really bad influence on me as a kid, and he was only like 6 years older than me, and I was from a divorced family, so. Instead of take me to like the Jungle Book, my mom would say, "Here's $5. Take Stevie to a Disney." He'd take me to Cheech and Chong. His catchphrase was "Blaze on!" Like, "Blaze on, man, blaze on!" I'm like, dude. He's like, "I'm too messed up, Stevie. You drive." I'm like, "Bro, I'm 11." He's like, "Oh, So, but his whole thing with, I'd go back to Kentucky and visit, and I'd say, "Uncle Ricky," I see people at the mall and they're always going, "Blaze on." He'd say, "Hell yeah, they know that's cool." Like he thought it was cool, like it was an honor.
And you let it out of the bag. Like, so your mom, like watching this material, they're like, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Is he still around?
He died a couple of years ago, hard life. And, but yeah, family members, if I thought it was hurting them, I wouldn't say it, but if they'd laugh, then I don't give a shit if other people laugh. Cause if they get it, I'm not hurting their feelings. I used to talk about my butch sister, Donna, the man of the house. And I'd say she would kick my ass if she didn't think it was funny. She would still.
Yeah, I saw that. And I'm sorry. I saw that she passed away. So
thank you.
I'm sorry about that.
Thank you.
You're pretty clean, right? You don't really.
I'm not. I'm a little cleaner now than I was. Like I look at footage. I'm like, hey, I said that. But I'm like PG-13. I'm like.
Yeah, me too.
A 13-year-old, bad words, but not too blue.
Yeah, once in a while I'll throw it out there, but it's pretty easy. Like if I need to be squeaky clean, I can. Yeah. And I think it makes for just a better transition. It's just going to make your life easier, I think, if you can do it clean.
Yeah.
I know a lot of comics who can't. Like they really rely on that beat, that cadence, or affect rather. Yeah. And good for them, but I would find like I'm not sure if they're going to get on a sitcom, but who knows.
I remember back in the day we'd have showcase night or whatever, and you had to be clean 5, like boom, really clean.
Exactly.
But let me ask you real quick before I let you go here, what was your hell yeah moment? What moment were you most proud of in comedy?
I would have to say the night of my special at the Yeah, that was I did something really risky. I only had 1 show. I didn't do 2.
Really?
Yeah. So they say do 2 in a row. That way you can edit and choose the best pieces and go back and forth. But I didn't have the budget for production. Yeah. To do 2 shows. Yeah. And the space, and it was all out of pocket. So I just went for it, and I was so much pressure. And I just did it. So afterward, I just felt like how it is when you feel like you accomplished it and you're just like on a high. Mm-hmm. It just feels so great. And I've had some really good moments at Laugh Factory. I've had some good moments in the original room at Comedy Store. Mm-hmm. So it kind of makes up for the moments that aren't so good.
But it's all about those good moments.
It's all about those good moments.
I filmed a concert special called Rock Stars of Comedy with myself, Steve Burr and Brian Callen and all these guys. But we did the same thing. We did 1 show. It was a concert. Oof. And someone was at the theater the night before doing the special. I think it was Chris Tucker or Vanessa Mitchell. Somebody was there the night before filming something, and they did 2 shows. Mm-hmm. I'm like, but I wasn't savvy enough also, because I produced it, to know I should probably do 2 shows.
Yeah, that's what they recommend.
1 and it turned out great, but also I knew it was do or die. Like you got to bring it.
Yeah, there's something to be said.
The pressure.
You don't have the fallback. Like this is it. Like you can't mess up.
Exactly.
So that was just a really wonderful. And then, it was like a double-edged sword of luck. I don't know how I feel about it being released during COVID. I kind of think maybe it was good because it really got way more streams than I would have ever imagined. So, people were at home and they needed content. So I
think of yourself like Joe Exotic. I wouldn't have watched Joe Exotic if it wasn't the damn COVID.
Oh, but poor Joe is in prison having to hear about it from his little prison maid. I don't know. He's still in prison, right?
I think he's still in prison. Yeah.
But remember how fixated? Yeah, we were.
I did a campaign. It was unsuccessful.
You could actually play him.
I did. Look on Instagram. I did some Joe Exotic stuff.
Oh, did you? Okay, I do have to.
I'm proud of my Joe Exotic work. I stand by my Joe Exotic.
I'm right after this. I'm gonna get on there. That's awesome.
All right, Sarah J. Halstead, where can they find you?
You can find me at Sarah J. Halstead on all social media platforms, anything but Clubhouse. God, I'm just not in Clubhouse.
I just invited to that. I just did like a book thing, an author's talk, and someone said, "Hey, are you in Clubhouse? I'm going to send you an invitation." I'm like, now what? What do I do?
So exclusive, I get more invitations from Clubhouse than I do Spectrum's $44 a month bundle program. Like, it's like, well, come on, man. It's how exclusive can this be?
Yeah.
But yeah. So Instagram's kind of my main thing. And, and it's Sarah J. Halstead. And then my special RVs and Cats is streaming on Amazon Prime.
I even wrote it down.
And I have a show this Sunday at Comedy Chateau at 1:30, a nice matinee if anybody wants to go to a live show outside on a Sunday afternoon. What
time is that?
1:30 p.m.
1:30 p.m.
Pacific Standard Time. Yep, a new beautiful comedy club.
All right, maybe I'll swing by in the Trans Am there. I got to say hi to Jack anyway across the street.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, and I'm not gonna let him see me walk to haha afterward. I got to be really exactly. But this has been a lot of fun. Thank you
for finally doing it. And I know you were. Where can I find this? I need to check this out. I'm not sure.
I totally did not. I really just wanted to watch.
Well, thank you, and I hope you jump back on again. And next time we'll be even sillier.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope I was silly enough for you.
You're very silly. I like it.
Good. All right, Stevie.
Well, thank you so much, Sarah. And we'll look you on Instagram. Good luck with everything.
Can't wait to read your book.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you soon.
Send you the next one.
Okay, awesome. I want you to sign it.
I got a new one coming out.
Okay, bye.
Another fun one, y'all. Come on, get happy hour every Wednesday night, 6 p.m. That's Cali time. I think that's called Pacific or something.
Yeah, it's Pacific Standard Time.
Pacific Standard Time. It's Pacific Standard Time. DJ Sketch with a professional announcing voice. Sketch, was that fun?
It was a fun episode. Some really great topics there. And of course it was funny. So you know what that means.
Good catching up on homeboy Mike Young and Sarah. We have so many mutual friends and she's posting funny shit. And I'm like, jump on the show. And so I'm glad she did. And that was a good category tonight.
It was.
And the top 10 movie quotes. I know it wasn't really officially a top 10 because everybody's got a favorite. But I got one thing to say. I'm your Huckleberry. See, that's from Tombstone.
All right, Kilmer.
All right.
Go ahead.
All right. Thank you, Sketch.
Thank you. And everybody, if you enjoyed tonight's show, you have some comments, you want to suggest a top 10 list to us, be sure to leave comments below the video. Thanks for watching.
See you next week.
Let me take you back in time. You're in the mix with G. Lou. You're in the mix with Judy Lou.
Hey, DJ, bring that back.